Hello, 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 and welcome. Welcome, everybody. This is a reality check midweek. You guys know we do this from time to time. We had to reschedule with the beautiful Lateshia Pearson, who's going to be jumping on any minute now. She just jumped on and told me she needed a couple of minutes, so we're going to give her that. But I'm so excited about the return of Belle Collective. You guys know this is one of my favorites. I did a lot of conversations here on Reality Check with the Bells, and then we also did a lot of conversations on From Crystal with Love about the show. So first of all, I'm excited that the show has returned this season. But when I tell you guys this first episode is I feel like the first episode secured the Bells to return season after season after season. This is another one of Carlos King's projects that definitely has resonated with the audience. And I don't feel like they're going to ever have any question about the Bells returning, because the show is definitely going to do numbers this season. This first premiere episode of season 3 kicks off, and I'm telling y'all, you're not going to be ready for it. So we're getting ready to welcome Leticia on in just a minute. If you guys can hear me, make sure you leave an XO in the chat so we can get into this. I'm just going to talk about, I had an opportunity to talk to Tambra earlier in the week, and we had a great conversation. I'm going to share that here on the channel as well so that you guys can get a chance to hear that. Now, when we left last season, the reunion was very explosive. Thank you so much, Private Person, for that XO. You guys, please drop an XO if you can hear. Hey, Edna. So Tambra was on the outs with most of the ladies. You guys remember that whole thing went down where supposedly Aisha had said that she didn't think the other ladies were attractive, amongst a bunch of other things. And Tambra had shared that with the rest of the ladies. And so there was drama. There was drama happening there. Now, outside of that, Tambra said that definitely was uncomfortable for her. And she also kind of gave us an update on her relationship with Greedy. You guys, remember there were people saying that maybe that relationship wasn't on stable ground, because there was another young lady that had an emotional relationship. I wasn't really understanding that, because I don't see how grown people can have emotional relationships at this point in life. But, hey, whatever makes the storyline pop for you. You guys feel me? So that was something happening. But the season ended with the ladies kind of at a bad place with Tambra. So we're going to definitely see how some of that plays out. Aisha is back. She basically came in and claimed she was the belle of the ball. And I think that's an interesting thing about this cast. We have amazing women and everyone has their pick. So I would love to hear you guys in the chat. Let me know, who is your favorite belle? I am, of course, objective. I love all the ladies. I really, really bonded a lot with Leticia when I went to Jackson. I like Latrice. I like all the ladies. So I'm a fan of all of them. I didn't get a chance to spend very much time with Soguchi, but I'm hoping to be able to get to know her a little bit better. But I love this show because these women are actually women trying to do something with their lives. They're not, there's some drama, because you got to have drama to make things work. But the ladies are really, there's substance to this show. And that's what I love about the show. Edna says she wanted airtime. I don't know. They added Soguchi and Aisha last season. And, we didn't get to know Soguchi as much. I think we're going to get to know her and her husband, JJ, a little bit better this season. You guys wait till y'all see JJ in this season premiere. He is showing us a little bit of everything. But I'm going to play this. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you guys hear me? I'm going to play this trailer. And I would love to hear what you guys think as we wait for Leticia to jump on. I'm going to play this trailer so you guys can kind of see where we open up it with this season premiere. And then our girl is going to jump on and we're going to get all up in her business. Well, not in her business, but we're going to talk about her because we need her to be okay. We need Leticia to be okay. And according to this clip, we need her to blink twice if things are well. Check this out.
I'm meeting Soguchi today at what will be my new home, life without Glenn, and I cannot wait to see what's next for me. I got my own place. That's right.
I think Leticia is doing the right thing about going behind Glenn's back for this new condo. I mean, just do what you gotta do.
What is this? Glenn, what the hell are you doing here?
New season
premieres Friday, May 19th at 8/7 Central.
Child, Glenn done showed up at the new condo. Showed up at the new condo. But you know what? I don't think that I don't think she should have to hide the condo. Glenn has consistently messed up. And so I don't feel like Leticia should even have to hide the fact that she's going to find a spot on her own. Like, I don't think we need to hide that. I think that needs to be in plain sight. Plain sight. Glenn has revoked his privileges. And I don't think she should be. I think at this point, it is so clear. And I'm gonna be honest with you guys. We went to Jackson. I went with some other bloggers and had a chance to really have an intimate time with these ladies, kind of get to know them, spend some time off camera with them, getting to know about them. And I'm just gonna say, from my perspective, Glenn talked in my ear for almost an hour about how much he wanted to save his family, how much he loved his wife, how much he wanted to be in the home with his wife and his son. And I was rooting for Glenn. We left, the season happened, and we saw that after that, Glenn's actions did not align with his words. And so at this point, I don't feel Leticia has to hide. I feel like Leticia has a right to pursue a life of happiness on her own. I feel like they both can learn how to parent effectively as co-parents, divorced co-parents. It happens all the time. And I'm not ever one to suggest someone getting a divorce. You don't tell people that's, what God has put together, let no man put asunder. I definitely believe that. However, when someone is hurting you and it is consistently disrespectful, I do feel like you have a right to do what's best for you. And so we're going to talk to Leticia about that, about her business. We know that she opened up an office space, her relationships with some of the other ladies. One of the things I love about Leticia is that she was constantly a connector. She was really, really dedicated and committed to Ferris Street. And definitely, even when Aisha came in and basically was like, I already own property on Ferris Street, she was very welcoming to her and said, well, if this helps us get to our goal faster, let's do it together. So I love that about her. I love that she's a woman that really wants to promote unity among sisters. And that's admirable. And that's, like I said, that's one of the reasons I love her. And I really wanted to have her on. Can't wait till she jumps on. She was just coming back in town. So you guys give her a few minutes. Let me know who's your favorite Belle. Who's your favorite Belle? Casey Johnson said that dentist that was on season 1, Antoinette. Yeah, Antoinette just kind of disappeared. They didn't explain to us what happened, but they just X'd Antoinette out, and we got a couple extra ladies in her place. But I think our girl is ready to join us. Let me go ahead and bring Miss Leticia on. Hey, girl. I think you're on mute. We can't hear you.
Hey, beautiful.
Hey.
Hey.
How are you?
Girl, excuse me, running, sweating hot. You look amazing as always.
Thank you. You do too. I told you I'm feeling this blonde. You're doing this. I see
Thank
it
you, girl.
I see it. In fact, let's play this little clip. I thought you guys look amazing. Everybody looks beautiful this season, but we got my girl right there in the center. I love it. Let's play this really quickly and let's talk about Friday. Yes, the ladies of Belle Collective. First of all, welcome back. I'm so glad that you guys are back this season.
Thank you, girl. It's an honor. Like, we are all excited. I know for sure I'm excited. It's just, just to be back. Like, we're back. Oh my God. Like, we're back.
Yes, you guys are back. And I know you guys, this has been a busy press week. I talked to Tambra, chatting with you today, actually supposed to talk to Latrice on Friday. That should be interesting because I'm telling you, this first episode, child.
Baby, listen, that's all I can say. Like, child,
we go
coming out. I mean, we're coming out, honey. When I say we are like fire, like here we are, we're here. Like, honey, the bells clocked in once again.
The bells ringing. I told Tambra, and I'm telling you, and it will tell Carlos, there will never be another season where we're wondering, are the bells coming back? After the way you guys brought it with this first season, this first episode kickoff, Oh, it's gonna be locked in.
Thank you.
Right.
Thank you.
Our
Say it louder, honey. Go on over there and post it on the Carlos's page, okay?
Yes, we will. We absolutely will. Well, let's talk first before we get into this show, because we're gonna get it. We're gonna get into that. But you have been doing some amazing things. I know you did a brunch a couple of days ago because we were actually, talking back and forth before you got back on Monday. I want to hear about that because you are somebody, like I was saying before you jumped on, from the time we met you in season 1, you've always been about true female empowerment. Your actions and your words align, right?
Yes.
And I appreciate that about you. And I know you just finished doing a really great brunch event, I believe in Houston, right?
Yes, in Houston.
Yeah.
Yes.
So tell us about that.
So actually the event was Babes and Boots. Ashley is someone now that I'm working very close with. She's like, I'm all about alignment. Like it's alignment. And these like when we bring women together, and I don't know if you looked at some of the photos, but they were more intimate. So I love how like after the last couple brunches, like they're so intimate. The women get so much, and for me, and they get so much more of me, so I had to like, hold on, go from 200, 300. I mean, the brunches that I was telling you about previously to like more intimate. So we had it in this home, and oh my God, it was so amazing. We had the pool. We had women like just really pouring into one another. It was a great space. I mean, it was amazing. And that's what it's about. Like I tell anybody, I have been empowering before it became a trend. Okay. Right. So I have been brunching at the same time before it became this big trend. But just anything that will bring women together where we can eat, fellowship, honey, and get us a little mimosa, a little tipsy. So the brunches, I mean, it was amazing. It's all about women empowerment, bringing women together and sharing experiences. And Crystal, I think that's something as women that we're getting better, but if we going through something, share it with somebody else. Like that's being transparent, being your authentic self. And that group, we just like it's just so amazing. Like, yeah.
I love that. And I agree with you. Sometimes, when you have something more intimate, people feel more comfortable sharing, right? Because you can look everybody in the eye. It feels a lot more welcoming. And I feel like that leaves us. I'm over, I'm based here in Atlanta, and I'm done with the fake female empowerment stuff. Like stuff that's not really about actually pouring in and receiving and being honest and transparent. The stuff that's just about me showing you how much I have. That's not really what we need. What we need as women is really to be able to say, there's nothing that you are going through that I can't be a listening ear. And I probably have went through something similar, right? Or I probably know somebody. Like, we're all connected as women, and we should all be there for each other. So I just wanted to honor you with that, because I know that really has been who you have been from the time we've met you. It's been consistent across the board. So when I saw you doing that in Houston, I was like, that's just who she is. It's not for the show. It's not for the cameras. That's just her. So
yeah, and we've wrapped, and even the brunch tour that we're on, like, and I appreciate that. And you said a mouthful. We have to be in spaces where where we can be vulnerable. I think that's where we heal. I know that's where we're able to heal, and it's good. You come to places. Sometimes I've heard the phrase "mean girl brunches" or something like that. Somebody was saying where you just come and you brag and you boast about things that you have going on. That's cool, but let's tell a story. Like how it hadn't always been like that. Like, don't make anyone feel little. Today on the interview I had in Mobile, Alabama, I spoke on how it's like, for me, there are no big I's and little U's. We are all the same. If I don't know the answer, it's my obligation to go find it. It's a safe space, and we shouldn't be like, hey girl, do you know, you know what I mean? I mean, that's your reality TV. I mean, I'm just saying, but no, seriously, you really have to show yourself friendly to be a friend and be a listening ear, because it's somebody's. My day was yesterday. Her day could be tomorrow.
Right.
We just have to be here for one another, and that's what I just stand on.
No, I definitely agree with that. And I mentioned, like, when we had a chance to come hang out with you guys, what we noticed about last season, because you started this off with Ferris Street, and I'm telling you, your passion for that, we were able to see Ferris Street and really walk down it and see the passion was there. But when Aisha came and she was like, well, I already own property, you were one of the first people to welcome and say, well, okay, if that's the case and we can get here faster, then let's join up with her. And that's that takes a lot, because so many times we lead with ego or we're insecure. So the way you welcomed her on television, on a show that, you know, needs a little drama, to me was huge. Where are you guys at in that process? Let's start there. Where are you guys at in the process with actually like working together to provide more content and more, you know, ownership along Fair Street?
Well, actually, yeah, thank you for even saying that. You know, Akeisha definitely, when she and I first talked, she had a passion for Ferris Street, and she grew up on Ferris Street. She was saying she was running up and down Ferris Street. I believe in, it's not about, you know, like you said, an ego. It's about who can get it done. That's what matters to me. I just want to see it manifested.
Right.
You know, and if she could come in and, you know, we did see how that played out. So, honey, I just passed up a time and go on. You know, I want to see it manifested. And if your family and you have legacy there and you have history there and you can get it done, because I could not.
Yeah.
It was hard for me. Yeah. It was hard. You know, it was very, very hard. So to hear someone can actually come in, get it done, their family is there with the property. She has a property, you know, do it. Yeah. You know, do it. And I support it. And I don't have to be on the playing field with you, but I'm supporting you in the bleachers.
Yeah, no, that's the definition of true sisterhood. Yeah. I gotta shout you out with that. If you guys are just tuning in, make sure that you like and share this so that we can have people tuned in. We are on a Wednesday, which is not our usual day of Monday, but I want to make sure that people see this conversation with very beautiful Leticia Pearson. She is one of the Bells from owns Belle Collective. The series is back on Friday, and we're talking about where the entire series started on Ferris Street. So that is we were able to actually see, when myself and some other bloggers came, we were actually able to see Akeisha's property and able to see the street, and it was a great experience. So let me ask you, Leticia, this show, because you were already doing what you were doing, already trying to, you know, create some opportunity, what benefits has Belle Collective provided for you professionally? Because I know that people love getting into the drama and everything, but I absolutely believe that when you have the opportunity to have a larger platform, more opportunities come. So for you personally, have you seen benefits when it comes to business from being on this show?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely, Crystal. I mean, for sure. Absolutely. I mean, we have people, first of all, going back to season 1, since we're talking about Ferris Street, so many people were so interested around the world. So to shed light on Ferris Street and its history, that in itself was like, you know, beyond imaginable. But as far as me, as I started to progress, of course, I have connected with bigger tribes. I have gotten opportunities. Not only that, I found myself through reality TV. So let's start there. You know, I was my voice through reality TV on a different level. Now, I've always talked, inspired, but that's self-healing. But yeah, I mean, I've launched so many things. I've connected with so many amazing women. This platform has allowed me to do what I love to do, and that is to inspire, to create, and, you know, just to connect with other women. So, girl, yes, I'm forever grateful for Belle Collective, Carlos King, the OWN Network, everybody for this opportunity.
Shouts out to Carlos King. He is definitely doing his thing. We know there's a whole new season, a whole new franchise for Love and Marriage is now in Detroit, which is not far from my hometown of Toledo, Ohio.
Wait, I have to go look at that. Wait, what did you just say?
That Love and Marriage Detroit is now a new franchise. Yeah.
Oh, he must have posted that last night, earlier today. I've been in Mobile, Alabama, but I will definitely check that out.
Yeah, that's going to be a whole different vibe. Let me tell you that. The D is a whole different vibe than Huntsville and DC. Trust me. But yeah, shouts out to Carlos. So it's amazing watching him do what he does so well. So let's talk about that growth, because I like the fact that you were transparent enough to acknowledge that you've really kind of come into your own and found your voice in a different way as a woman through this show. What was going on with Leticia prior to connecting with Carlos King and being on this show? Where were you at spiritually? Where were you at emotionally? Where were you at in your relationship with your husband?
Ooh, so what was that, like 2018 when we shot the pilot? I have to go back and remember, but I was brunching, Women Brunch Mississippi. I had created that in 2017. Let's fast forward. I had Joshua, my son, in 2015. But
Okay.
prior to that, I was a paralegal for like 13 years or so. Glenn actually wanted me to stay home, be a stay-home mom. So I was at home. After I had Joshua in 2015, I did not go back to work.
Okay.
So I was just doing a little hustling thing. I was doing bell bonding, ripping jeans, fruit, and still connecting with women, doing what I love to do. And I hosted this this brunch, Mingling Over Mimosas business brunch. I didn't know if one person would show up, 60 people. I had no idea. I just knew I live by supply demand, and I knew we needed this here. As a matter of fact, I attended an event in Atlanta.
Okay.
I heard two girls in a conversation, and they were saying how my friend invited me, how this girl was like, hey, how can I pour into you? Or how can I serve you? And she said, well, how can I serve you? And I'm like, oh my God. And they really figured out a way to do that right there in my face. And it wasn't on a panel. I was just beside a vendor booth and I was listening to them. So I came back. I said, you know what? I'm going to create this in Mississippi. Like, I'm going to do this. We need this because at this time there was nothing on that level and the type of branches that I host. And I said, you know what? That's what we need. We need to get out of the mentality of having this crab in a barrel and women can't support one another and do it. And I live by become the change you wish to see. So girl, I hosted that. Mingling Over Mimosas, $20. Girl, I sold my first $20. Chris, you would have thought, girl, I had $1 million. Like, it only takes one. It only takes one. So I'm like, you know what? Oh my God. And then they just kept coming. We had like 60 some people.
That's really good.
I got there. When I got to the event, girl, we had over 100 people in line. Wow. Thank goodness I had a family friend. I was like, you got to whip up some grits. We need some more grits. And in that moment, I was like, oh my gosh, this is something that we needed to do. We just needed someone to lead. I'm a leader. We needed someone to create and not be afraid to take that risk, right? So it happened. And then after that, I was getting emails. When is the next one? When was the next one? I was like, oh my God, they want another one? So I went to register Women Brunch Mississippi and started putting these women in nice environments, to change. Nothing against our coffee shops here or anything like that, community centers. But I started going to places that we wouldn't normally go to, the country club. When you look good, you feel good. When you feel good, you look good. So tricked them, I like to say tricked into knowledge. And we came out and, by me not being from Jackson, women were telling me, by you coming into here and coming here to do this, it's allowing people who wouldn't normally be in a room together, they're in a room together. So it just went from there, and it was amazing, and when we hopped on the call, originally, with Carlos, he loved it. He loved what we were doing in Mississippi, and it's just been a blessing. It's an alignment,
Now, who were you actually really friends with from the cast before, and who were you with the first season? And who was a part of your inner circle prior to the show, if anybody?
No one in my inner circle. Okay. I knew Essie is from my hometown, which is 5 blocks from some apartments. So I knew Marie through Essie, but didn't know her. We didn't go out and hang up. But Essie, Marie attended a lot of the brunches with Essie.
Okay.
So it was like that. And of course, it's so small here. We were running the same, like Antoinette at the first season, like she's attended the brunches. I've even let her speak, so it's like like a little network, them through passing, but it's not like, hey girl, let's go hang out. Again,
not like it is now.
Yeah, no, not like it is now. Definitely not.
So who I guess who were you? You obviously, it seems like you and Marie were obviously kind of drawn closer to each other. It seems like maybe that was through Essie, but what was that process like? Because I feel like sometimes when you see people on television and they're thrown into friendships, that's why a lot of times there's clashes, because people's personalities don't always mix. Marie and Latrice, obviously, personalities in this.
But don't give me no headache before Friday. Yeah.
But that was something that was on the very first episode. With the very first episode, when you guys were introduced as the Bells, it was tension between Marie and Latrice. And so But when you think about women from different backgrounds and different, different signs and all that, we're all different. We all have different experiences. It makes sense that some people would not necessarily hit it off. Were you cool with everybody? Who did you automatically kind of, feel drawn to from when Carlos put you guys all together?
So, what was that? Let's go all the way back to that first feeling. What was the first even? No, that was a pilot. So with me, Crystal, I'm like, I can mesh with anybody. So it was like these ladies, I just embraced them from the jump, face value. It wasn't like, oh, I care for Marie. Because at this time, really, even though Marie had been around Esty, but they were still all kind of like on the same playing field to me, just like I'll meet anybody. Like, I'm going to meet you exactly where you are. So it wasn't necessarily, oh, I'm drawn to you. I just show up as me. And that's just how it went, I'm
not mad at that. I'm not mad at that. Do you think that Antoinette leaving and not being a part of season 2 was a loss for the show?
Oh, a loss? Absolutely not. Did you not see the ratings for season 2? Absolutely. Absolutely not. However, we all wish her well, but girl. Do what?
Y'all good. Okay.
Yeah, we good.
Okay. I didn't know if y'all were like, oh, we miss her, or we wish she had been able to continue the journey. But okay, moving on. Yeah. You added some other ladies to the fray, but part of your biggest storyline, obviously, you don't really have tensions with the other ladies. It's really more so what's going on in your home. And so I guess I'm wondering, there's another show that Carlos has, Love and Marriage, Huntsville. And on that show, we have seen one of the marriages completely dissolve, which is really sad. But what I think people forget is that Carlos did not necessarily create the issues in the marriage. Usually issues in a marriage are happening before the show. So I'm wondering with you and one of my lights went out. With you and Glenn.
I needed one of those up under here. I would be more prepared. Like I said, I just got off the highway.
No, you're fine. I'm sitting here like, wait a minute, this is not right. Okay, so how were you and Glenn prior to the show? And I'm asking that because I wonder, when a marriage is already in a place that's difficult, putting reality TV cameras on it can be really even more difficult. So where were you guys at prior to starting the film? And did you have any idea that some of these issues were still going to continue on throughout filming?
That is such a great question. When we came down and Carlos came down to shoot like the seals or whatever we were doing, Glenn and I were like, we were good to me. Like we were # Black goals, Black love. So what started to happen with me following the story, it was more so of, because again, I'm just a girl that's inside, not a party girl, 2 braids to the back, helping other people because I do branding and marketing, so I wasn't out there. When we got on the television show, honey, that's when things started to go crazy. If you go down like my Facebook, if I had deleted some of them, but it was like, I'm thinking, I'm good. Like we're good. Like nothing made it to my door, as far as all of this extra stuff going on. So that's why
there had never been any cases of infidelity in the marriage prior to the show.
No, other than the information with the alleged child that we're talking about. So when we addressed that like in 2000 or whatever, and it was like, no, keep it moving. That was like 2013, and then this resurfaced. So when that resurfaced, it opened the doors to other things that I were not privy to and other things, and it just like everything just started to happen. And not only so much of the infidelity, Crystal, but my growth as a person, as from going from just at home being a wife, being, just full-time Glenn, just team Glenn, clipping your nails, just everything that you wanted me to be. And I started evolving. So yes, we had that issue that we addressed then. So that's why I was like, wait a minute, this research, what are you not telling me? So then more people started sending me things. I started being aware. I wasn't the type of girl that's like, oh, I'm just going to go your call log. You know, mind you, when that happened in 2013, when it hit me, when someone inboxed me on Facebook, Glenn's phone was in my name. So you having a conversation. So I'm like, I go out here and I'm like, she ain't lying. You know what I'm saying? So I wasn't that, because he didn't give me like a reason to, you know what I mean?
Right.
So then I started to like, wait a second, hold on. You know, I'm over here saying black hashtag black love and all this on Facebook. You got people over here laughing at me.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
what we're gonna do. So prior to the show, even it was like fun. We had fun. We, you know, we laughed. That was 2000, like I said, in 13 when that happened.
Yeah.
This fast forward to like 2018. You know, it was just kind of.
That's crazy. So because that was a question, like with the.
I mean, mine is 17, 18. Me and Glenn been together since I was 17.
Yeah.
But I'm saying real stuff.
Right.
Like,
right. We're talking about adult
stuff where you supposed to, your ass supposed to be on your best behavior. What are you doing now?
That's But how did you guys let the situation with the child go? Did he say that wasn't his child and you believed him and you guys just kind of moved on?
Mm-hmm. No, the girl, actually, we had a conversation. They had to call, and she was married. She was like, y'all are harassing me. Glenn wanted to get a DNA test from her and everything. He said, I was there. She was like, y'all are harassing me. This is my husband, baby. Ooh. And we just kind of like left it like, oh, I'm so sorry. Because when I'm a paralegal, harassing you, no man. So she was married. Glenn was married. And he was like, I just want to prove to you that this, da, 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 da. So when we hit second season and the trailer aired, and it came out, and we were saying, is this your baby? The young lady FaceTime called me on Facebook Messenger and was like, I see that you guys are still arguing. Let's just do a DNA test and get this over with. You know, she's like, oh, I'm sorry, I'm still causing issues in your house. I'm like, girl, you ain't causing no issues, okay? Because at this time, we got some other issues like that. If this his and my son has a brother, sister, whatever, it's only fair to let him know. Because I mean, you know, bring it on at this point. Because clearly, so that's how things started to happen with that. And we hadn't heard anything since then. No one, Glenn kept, I just found out on the show, well, while we were filming, that Glenn kept reaching out to her, trying to say, well, just let me know. I didn't even know any of that, because I'm thinking in 2013, like, we wrapped it. You know what I'm saying? So
he must have felt like there could have really been a chance that was his child.
I'm sure. Like, if you want to ask, and then coming from, you know, not having a, you know, what happened with your father, with his father. So I'm sure, like, what's happening? Or we on this television show, let's go and get this, like, what's happening? So she actually reached out and she was like, if you want it, let's do it. And she video called me on Facebook.
Wow. So, I mean, but that's, I guess the good thing is that you had already, you knew about that. It wasn't new. So it wasn't like ripping a scab off of a wound. It was like, I know about this. It's not freshly, you know, it's not fresh hurt, or was it?
No, it was still fresh hurt. I mean, for me, even in that moment, because I can't water that down and just like, I know what it took for me to have a child for him, you know, so no, it was still hurtful. Like, you never want to even imagine that. So even I lived that and I hurt and I went through all of that, but to hear the conversation again, it's kind of like, you know, but she apologized. I mean, I was kind of at this time, I'm like, you know what? Listen, you know, I was getting like, is it? Let's go ahead and do it. Whatever. And y'all figure this out.
Yeah. Wow. I didn't realize that is a lot to deal with in front of an audience, right? So first you're dealing with things like that with cameras around, and then you're dealing with it again when the public sees that season. Yeah. So where are you and Glenn now? I'm not gonna lie, Leticia, I said before you got on camera, when we came down to Jackson, Glenn talked my ear off. And I believed him. I was rooting for Glenn. I was like, Glenn, because he was talking to us earnestly as a man that wanted to save his family, that loved his wife. And I understand you guys have one of those relationships that you grew up together. So I think both of you never really got to be adults on your own. You kind of came into the marriage as children, and that's difficult. We just know that's a difficult thing to do. But Glenn convinced us that he was serious about saving his relationship. And then to hear that there were actions happening afterwards was disappointing, to say the least. Where are you guys at? Where are you all at the beginning of this season? Because we know different things are going to happen. But I was surprised to see that you were still continuing to move forward when moving out and doing your own thing, but that you guys were still involved, right? You were still, which is, I'm sure, difficult because you guys have been together your whole life. So what had happened between the reunion and the beginning of this season?
So we filmed, so what? That was like 7 months or so ago. So after the reunion, I don't want to give too much away, but yeah, after the reunion, of course, we were trying to get things back together, and you will see how, without giving so much, how things started to unfold, unfold, and why things kind of started going back on the up and up. So I don't want to just give too much, but still, it's still like, as I heard like a reel or something, I am healing, not healed,
Yeah.
So you will see like how this will play out, going up and down. Of course, I'm gonna always have love for Glenn because that's that's my son's father, and of course we've been together, like we know each other, like we're friends, like it's just, I mean, it's just very difficult. It's very difficult when you be with somebody so long and you kind of like think you're growing together, and then you start growing apart, but you start growing individually too as a person.
Right.
That can cause a conflict as well.
No, I think that's something that you mentioned on the second season, is that you thought that you were outgrowing the relationship, and that could be easy to do because you all got together when you were a girl. You were a girl, and everybody grows at different rates. Let me ask you this: there is a statement that Glenn makes on this premiere, and he says that he mentions the 80-20 rule. And he says that 80% with him is great, and you may have to deal with 20% that's not great. So, and he stands on that. But that's the truth. Even listening to you tonight, like, it sounds like if you didn't get reached out to, or people didn't reach out from seeing you guys on television and probably being jealous or feeling some kind of way, it seems like the marriage was good as far as you knew. Do you feel like Glenn's 80% has kept you locked in and able to kind of overlook some of his 20% that we've seen over the last couple of seasons?
Yes and no. I think that, outside of everything that happens, I'm not gonna say that Glenn is a great person. I'll say that he's fun. He's he's a great person. He's a great dad. Glenn is always Glenning, and he will say things like that, 80 and 20, and it's like, what? That sounds good in a Tyler Perry movie. I thought it was cute.
That's what it was. Why did I get married?
Why did I get married? But I feel like right now there is no room for 20 at this point. Like, we'll get 20 somewhere, and we need 100 right now.
Yeah.
And then go on. I'm not looking for perfection, but at the same time, even for a female, either way, when someone has been hurt or if you've gone through, there's no room for that. There's no room for that. There's no room for a statement like that. And again, I'm not discrediting him. We've had some of my most fun times, being with Glenn. You got to think about it. This is over 25 something years, like just Tisha and Glenn. Josh is 8. So that was just us, until then. So, it's some of things that sometimes Glenn was, it pissed me off. I'm not gonna sit here and lie and say that. But I know that's cute to say. I know people say, well, you can't expect perfection. That doesn't exist. That's just with God. And I get all of that, but no.
Yeah. There are women that look at things differently, right? And I've struggled with that myself. My first marriage ended because of infidelity. And I didn't really think about it. I I think I told you when I was there, I got married really early. I got married at 20. He was 23. We were just young. We grew up together. At the point that he had an affair, I left immediately without thinking about it. If I probably could do that over again, I probably wouldn't have left exactly like that. But I know for me, I am not one of those kind of women that can live in a relationship. For me, infidelity is a deal breaker. Is infidelity solely for you a deal breaker on marriage?
It wasn't then, because clearly I still knew even after heard what happened. But for me right now, yes. But then no. But right now, yes.
Okay.
Without a doubt.
Okay.
Without a doubt, right now, I mean, come on. I mean, I believe that with anybody, a mistake is a mistake. We can forgive a mistake. Mistakes happen. We're not perfect.
Right.
But once it becomes like multiple times and it's habitual, like that at some point we have to respect ourselves enough, so no, but mistakes happen. Like I can't, and then, like I said, from 17 all the way, to now, to 40 something young, honey.
Yes,
but mistakes will happen. But right now, Crystal, without a doubt, like I have zero left in me, and that's me as this woman,
as this grown, mature, knows who she is. Leticia, let me ask you this, because this is one thing I said to you, I think there, and I say this when I look at you. I know how difficult it is. Like when you grow up with a man and that's all you know, it's hard to see yourself with somebody else. Like I was with my ex for 13 years. It was hard for me to even imagine, like, I remember going on a date with somebody just being mad that they weren't him. Like because I was so used to him. I was used to him. So I feel like a lot of times when you get with someone when you're young, you're so familiar, you don't even know how to really interact and deal with another man, because this man has kind of created your view of womanhood.
Yeah.
Do you see that it could be difficult for you, or even have you thought to that place of if you ever were to entertain somebody else, is it hard to see yourself in another situation and it not be Glenn?
I would have to say definitely it would be hard, because like you'll be like, wait a second.
Yeah.
Like, this is not what I'm used to. This is not even like, what do you do? Like, how do what do you do? Like, it's hard, I can't even imagine, and I'll be like, first of all, do this, do that. So how did you get through? Like, what did you?
Girl, I'll be honest with you guys. It was hard. And I think for me, I believe that people have to take time to heal if you go through a divorce or separation. You got to because I know there are a lot of women that believe in hurrying up and getting with somebody else, but you're just going to end up taking that pain to them. And honestly, I would look at everybody and just compare them to him. I would compare, because like you, when you're friends, that was my best friend, that was my family. So nobody could ever live up to that, because it had been 13 years of growing up, going to college together. So I had to get away and just heal. And even when I didn't think that I could ever love somebody like that again. And I'm telling you, Leticia, and this is just me from my heart. I didn't think I ever could love anybody like I love my ex-husband. But when I met my husband that I'm with now, he was so patient, and I was healed from my ex situation, but we were able to build, and I was able to get to know him and slowly create this bond that I am so much more in love with him. And it's different because I'm a grown woman, right? So when I met my ex-husband, I was 17, like you. We were in college. I went to college early, and we were there. So I was a girl, right? And he was the cutest thing in the world. But when I met my husband now, he has the qualities that I admire and I want as a woman, right? And I can tell you, we've been together for 3.5 years. This love is so different. And I believe in marriage, and I believe what God's put together, let no man put asunder. However, sometimes a person's actions can cause the marriage to end. What I'm saying is that if it does at any point end, I promise you that there's something so much better for you that will feed the woman that you are today in a different way. And I mean that for anyone that's watching as well. Like I did not ever believe I could feel like this about a man. And I dated a lot. I dated for 10 years and nobody ever came close at all.
Wow.
Yeah, it was, but that part of that was because I wasn't really healed. So you got to do the work. You got to do the work on yourself. But the point is, I got a good friend of mine. She's in love, and she never thought that she could be in love the way she's in love. So you have to heal, and then you have to be open. And I think that it's okay to date people and get to know people, but the most important thing is you got to get to know yourself as a woman with because I was like, I hadn't been with nobody else since I was a kid. You know what I mean? So I didn't really know
what to compare anything to.
Expect. Yeah. And I promise you, I would compare everybody that I met to him. And I'd be like, it was easy for me to blow people off because it was something that was so comfortable. Right. And I remember I was telling Chili, who's, one of my best friends, and she really helped me through, because I was like, that's my soulmate. She was like, Crystal, that's not your soulmate. And I said, yes, it is. He is my soulmate. She was like, he's not. And I was like, but she's like, that's all you know. That's all you know. So and she was right. And I didn't know she was right. I was mad. I was like,
don't be telling me, girl, I want this to be my soulmate.
I wanted him to be my soulmate so bad because we had 2 children together. You know what I mean? So I wanted that, but it wasn't, and what was on the other side, what God had for me. And my ex-husband is not a bad person. I don't hate him. I wish him well. We have 2 children together. I love my children more than life. So I'm not saying anything that is wrong with him. I believe he found his soulmate, but my soulmate, God had waiting for me, and it's so much better, and it's such a different type of love. So,
congratulations. That is so beautiful. And I can see it, like, oh my God, like, don't even have me up in here going to another, don't have me empowering, because like just with you talking, like, it's beautiful. And I am just so happy for you. Like, I'm so happy. Like, you deserve that. You deserve.
I do though. And you deserve, like, you deserve to be happy. And like I said, we talked, and I was like, if he, and I do know that he loves you, but sometimes a person has to fix what's wrong with them, right? And whatever is wrong with them doesn't need to hurt you, right? So a lot of times the cheating is not the problem. The cheating is a reaction to a problem. Whatever's going on with him, he got to fix, but that should not be hurting you, because you don't have whatever issues that he does. So I don't want to be clear. I'm not saying that she should divorce her husband, because that is not my place. But what I am telling Leticia is that you deserve to be happy. And if that's not it, God has something so amazing for you. And he will also heal the relationship so that you guys can parent your son. You have to put the work in. But you have to know that
yourself, like you said, that's the stage, as you guys witness, like me just finding myself. And I'll say it's happening on national television, like the transition stage, the angry stage, the trying to heal stage, trying to start a business stage, dealing with my marriage stage. And all of this just so happened to happen with everybody, like this.
That's hard.
It was nothing that like I could say, oh, this happened 2 years ago and now we're going to play it out. No. So when you guys see me going through emotions, like you guys are living out a whole relationship, a whole human being, a woman going through all of this, a marriage, and Glenn, like our whole, it's just being played out, and it's like they're right there to capture it. So we didn't get a chance to say, hey, this how we gonna do this. Like Glenn didn't even want to come back second season because we couldn't be holding hands like we were at the reunion. This was like reality, real, like raw. And it was just like, you know what, if we're gonna do it, then we're just gonna do it. So that's why the emotions, how you said that you healed, you went through your process. Well, with me, I'm going through my process with everybody else. So it looked like, what is she doing? What is she point. Just because other women are not, we don't see it. I'm actually going through the process and I'm trying to find myself.
Yeah. No, trust me. I wouldn't wish that hurt on nobody in that series. But I do know this, the fact that you're going through it on television is because you are strong enough for it, and it's supposed to help somebody else.
And so many people in the airport.
That's what it is. It's you got to help somebody else. What you just said earlier, we have to be honest, because what you say can help somebody else.
Yes.
You got a platform and you're strong. I'm telling you, I was not able to. I could not imagine being hurt and having to deal with other people knowing about that and not being over it. It took a long time. And nobody has the ability or the right to tell you how long it should take you to heal. You know, hurt is hurt and pain is pain, and we all deal with it at different times in different ways. So you have to realize that whatever is best for you, your spirit will let you know, right? What you're supposed to do. I'm just saying, if the answer is to leave, please believe there's after, and it is beautiful. I said, the Lord has blessed me with a amazing, fine ass husband that provides.
Come on through, girl. Yes.
No, but he can. And I was like, ooh, I don't want to be single at this age, because you don't think all of that, let all of that go. If you got any of it, just let it go, because what God has for you will be for you. Not trying to preach to you on here, but
no, I appreciate it. Listen, I empower so much. I listen. That's the difference. I don't have all the answers. I don't want to be the smartest person in the room. I want to learn, and people who've gone through stuff. And I appreciate you for being vulnerable. I appreciate you for sharing your experience, because sometimes people will go through things and just be like, oh, you just see the glory, honey. You don't know the story. So for you pouring into me and the other many women or men that's out here listening as well. No, I appreciate it. That's what sisterhood is about.
That's what it's about.
Like when you said, Chili said, girl, that's what you think you want. That's what sisterhood is about. Tell the honest truth of about what you feel, and it's left up to me to pray, to do what I need to do, and vice versa. So no, I don't have all the answers. Don't want them.
Yeah, you can't. No, but I'm telling you, I wouldn't to go through it and deal with it. And all of you guys that are on the show, I have utmost respect, because if y'all had saw me trying to go kill this man,
not kill him, girl. Oh Lord, not teach him.
I was trying to go get access to the job so I could.
That's that hurt though. That hurt to make you do some stuff, honey. Listen, some stuff you wouldn't even imagine. So I get it.
Yeah, you don't know who you are till you go through something like that. That's why people, even with having affairs and stuff, you don't know what you'll do until you're in that situation. So God just helped his little daughter, because I was trying to do all kind of stuff, and the Lord was like, sit your little behind.
Sit down, girl. I got this, Crystal. Sit down. Have a seat.
I was not trying to wait on him, but the point is, I did, and it's good for me to be able to tell other women that are going through it, because when you're going through the pain, you don't think there could be you don't think your heart could ever love again. You don't think that you could ever feel like that, but you can, and it could be even better, because at the point that you are now, a woman who knows what you need and what you want and what works for you, you make different decisions, and I hope that I really do like Glenn, because he's a likable person. He is likable.
Yeah, people be like, I can see what you're going through, because it'd be like, wait a second, I
was like, Glenn, I was talking to Brenda, we were like, now Glenn I feel bad, because I'm on Glenn's side, and Glenn done let us all down. He ain't just he done let everybody down. But I also know, and I'm not making excuses, there's something going on inside of him. There's something going on inside of him, but that's not on you. That's not on you, sis. Moving on to the ladies. So the ladies, how are the relationships when we enter this season? Where are you at? I asked Tambra, I know for her, for the first time to be on the other side of being, cool with everybody, and everybody kind of looking at her like, are you on that BS? Was different for her. And then seeing Aikisha being added to the group, Latrice and Marie going through it, and you constantly being stressed out with that. Where are you at with all the other ladies as we enter this third season?
I don't even know how to answer it, honey. The bells are just belling.
The bells are belling.
The bells are belling. You're gonna see like a lot of different. You're gonna see a change. You're gonna see like, wait, what? What? You're gonna see all of that. For me, I'm just this type. I say what I gotta say, and then I move on. How I feel about that moment. It's not left up to me how people want to take it.
Right.
I'm just this type. Like after, so I give chance. I just meet people where they are. But with that being said, once I kind of like say something, I don't like hold grudges. I feel like if anybody, if you got something to say, just say it, and we're gonna move on. That's how I operate in my circle, my close circle. Because if not, everybody got to be comfortable saying what they're saying. That's why I'm enjoying this conversation, because it's not forced, it's free. It's okay to listen to everybody else's opinions and just, and respect that. So I'm all about say what you say. I'll respect that. I'm gonna say what I gotta say, and we'll move forward. And I just think that can, be a lot. But the bells are belling, honey. It's definitely a change. You're gonna be like, wait, what?
Yeah,
I
I
think
can already
third
see it.
season character is coming out. I think you'll be like, oh, now we get it.
I think that's with a lot of even the other relationships, and I'm just gonna let it stand there. I just think there's a lot happening and a lot that's going to be uncovered. I didn't ask you before you got on, but we're it's Wednesday and Mother's Day was this past Sunday. What was your Mother's Day like? What did you enjoy about this past weekend?
Oh my God, it was amazing. Josh went with me to Houston.
Oh,
So
nice.
yeah, we got stuck in the airport though, kept getting delayed. I mean, but thank God he was with me. Had he not been with me, as a matter of fact, I was like, Mama, if Josh wasn't with me, I would be freaking out. But no, he was with me. We ended up staying. They put us up due to like our flight situation. I mean, it was good just being with him. I was working and with my baby. And when he woke up to say Happy Mother's Day, I mean, it was great just to be working and he's right there. It was amazing. I'm grateful.
This is my last question for you tonight, Leticia. What is the biggest lesson that you've learned from being a mother?
The biggest lesson is for me, gosh, there's so many. Being a mother, because there's so much. For me, it's like just sacrifice, knowing that you are no longer responsible just for you. You are creating an entire thought process for another human. And just to be like that role model. And also too, through experiences, I want you to understand what you deserve, like that in itself. And then you a Black boy. Like there's so many things, but for me, sacrifice. Stop and just listen, just be there. And I think too, it's very important, especially in our culture, to have that. How you can run up to your mama, sit down, I don't want to hear what you got to say. No, let's talk. What you're trying to say to me, I want you to know what you're saying is important. So there are so many lessons being there, being present. Being present, being approachable, little things like that people don't even remember, and sacrifice, because kids can see my mama stopped doing that just to hear what I had to say. Just a little stuff, but I'm learning so much about being a mom, and I have an amazing mother. So thank God and love is important.
It is
love. And I tell Joshua all the time, and if I get him, he can tell you it's okay for you to cry. Now, don't be crying when you fall or something like that, but it's okay to express how you feel. It doesn't make you any less of a person. I just think little stuff, I agree so much. I can go on and on about that.
No, what you said was powerful about, when you, as a mother, you're creating the way somebody else thinks, right? So you're creating one day the way some man is gonna, give orders to people that work for him or work with him or treat the woman that he's with or the man, whoever. You're creating that, and it's a lot, but I think that it's good to understand that, and when you're and being present, is important for you to know. Okay, acknowledging them and affirming them is building them in a total different way than I need it, because it's creating who they're going to become. So It's
Yeah.
it's a lot. It's a lot, but that's a beautiful sentiment. I'm glad you enjoyed your Mother's Day weekend.
Yes. What about you?
My kids are grown, so my daughter and I went. She treated me to the aquarium, and she gave me some
Mm,
roses. My son is a professor, so he sent money, and they're
okay.
they're doing so good. But like you said, I see now all the little seeds that I planted in them. I
Hmm.
see now as they're adults, I see it back,
Oh,
right?
that's beautiful.
And it is, and I tell people, every sacrifice is worth it. Every
Hmm.
single sacrifice. When you see all those seeds taking harvest, I was on the road driving back and forth to Atlanta because I wanted them to live in a neighborhood that was safe and all these different things. And people would be like, "Why you live so far outside the city?" And I did all that, taking soccer practice, honor roll, beta club and all that. When I see him as a professor at 25 doing what he wants to do, I see my daughter, excited about her career DJing. Everything is worth it.
Hmm.
Everything is worth it. So you keep doing all that, keep being present, because one day you're going to look up and that little adorable boy is going to be an amazing, responsible man because of those sacrifices. So
Oh, thank you. Thank you for my flowers, and I give them back to you.
thank
So
you.
thank you. That is amazing.
So you gotta, well, actually, we're gonna talk again because I know that I am actually coming to Jackson, and I definitely want to sit down with you when I come. Um,
Yes.
yes, I gotta
Man,
come back.
you can't tell me now. Oh no.
I'll text you. I'll text.
Okay, okay, okay,
Yeah,
okay.
I'll text you. But I'm coming to Jackson. I want to talk to you and some of the other ladies, but I want to have a sit down further in the season so that our audience can kind of, once things gets to popping a little bit.
Oh, be
Yeah,
ready, honey. Be ready. Be ready. Now that's when you be like, hold on, be ready.
be like, girl, I'm on the way. I'm on the way
Girl,
this week.
do we all have to be in the same place?
No, no,
I'm
no.
just playing. I'm just playing. I'm like, you just, I'm just joking.
We're gonna do it. We're gonna do it separately, but I'm looking forward to that. But thank you for coming on. Thank you for sharing. Let people know when they need to tune in this Friday.
Mhm. Yes, honey. Of course, honey. The bells are back and we are ringing even louder. Okay. So tune in May 19th, this Friday on the On Catch Me. Of course, your favorite
There you go.
Southern Belle. Okay. It's going to be great. It's going to be great. It's going to be inspirational, but you're going to also see us navigate through everything. Like, and when I say everything, I mean everything. Okay.
Absolutely.
So tune
Absolutely.
in.
All right, we're gonna be watching on Friday, and then, like I said, I'm gonna talk to Latrice and Cliff, and they'll be on. That'll be on Monday. So thank you guys for hanging out with us. Make sure that you share this conversation for anybody that might have missed it. And Leticia, I will definitely reach out, and I will see you soon.
Okay, love.
All right. Have a
Thank you
good
for
one.
having me.
Absolutely. Thank you for joining us.
Bye.
Bye. All right. Well, thank you all for hanging out on a Wednesday. This was a little bit different than our usual day, but we had to make sure that we got Leticia in. Make sure that you are tuned in on Friday for season 3, premiere of season 3 for the Belle Collective. Trust me, y'all. I saw the premiere and you do not want to miss it. This season is going to be one for the books. Carlos King got another one. You hear me? All right. Well, I will see you guys next week for more reality check right here rolling out. This is your host, Crystal Jordan. I love you all, and I'll see you next week.